So here we are, we're on Ilios. And we're playing Zarya. And our team comp is looking pretty good. It's looking pretty solid. And we're Diamond. So first of all, bubble priority. Gotta save the Ana, all costs. Ana cannot die ever. Something to note with this team composition. Bubbling the Pharah is also very good. So a little bit preemptive on the shield there. So remember, we're talking about King of the Hill maps though. And positioning and stuff. Now, a big thing here is to box. You want to box people out of the point. Because remember, you're both coming in. And whoever can get the better footing will do better. So retreat. So right now you need to cap the point. Pretty important. No one's on the point. It would have been capped a few seconds ago. So that's very important. You finally wind up capping it. Okay. But aside from actually capping the point yourself, you always want to be up and up there, trying to keep them back, force them to actually come through something. Because if we, hopefully we turn our camera a little bit so I can see the rest of the map. We're going to probably turn around. It's like, well, okay. So if you let them get to this area where they're overlooking the point, especially on this particular segment, then you're in trouble. Maybe you're not in trouble necessarily, but it's at least even footing. If you stand up here, then it's much better. You have much easier time fighting them. You can back off. If you fight them on the point, then if you back off, you give them the point. If you fight them beyond the point, if you back off, now you have some room like that. But again, I think you're playing a little bit too passively, a little bit too on the point. You have to be more in there, more up there. And like I said, with the shields, you can't be so willy-nilly with the shields. I don't think you blocked much with the shield. And also, your Pharah just died. Remember, shield priorities. You have to think of who you're going to shield. And only shield them unless you really have a big reason to shield someone else. So in this case, I'd say, okay, I'm going to be shielding the Pharah and the Ana if someone dives the Ana. I don't think there's many divers on the other team. You can't be wasting it randomly on like divas and stuff. The diva can take care of herself. The Pharah cannot. So I think we're going to wind up losing the point. And at this point, all right, you got your ult. You're done. You have nothing to gain anymore. Just GTFO. Get out. This is just feeding them healing support ults because you're not getting any ult charge yourself. And, yep, just feeding. That's it. That's all it is. So always make sure that once, whoa, let's back up a second. You might wonder how I got into this situation. Well, let me tell you the story. Anyway, whenever the fight is lost, you need a GTFO. Get out of there. If you don't have your ult up, then farming your ult is a viable option. But when you do have your ult up, any damage you do is bad. All right, so let's watch him get hooked. And okay. So it's whatever, it happens. You get hooked. Who'd you shield? So yeah, I think that the two things that I've really seen so far is you're wasting your E's, you're wasting your shields on people who don't really need it, and you stayed in that last fight when you shouldn't have. You're not boxing people out quite enough. But this is good. You're on the point. That's good. Fighting the Roadhog, the Reinhardt, rather, killing him. Nice. Getting the point. And so at this point, you should be here. Like up in this area where you are right now. And when you back up, you shouldn't be backing up onto the point necessarily. But you should try to back up in such a way that you're still kind of pushing him back. Don't ever go onto the point unless you're really, really forced onto there. And so right here, the spam is... Wow. You killed him. That spam was great. Keep it up. No, but normally in that case, I'm very surprised that the soldier died. But you don't want to be spamming like this when you have full ult charge. It's pointless because you're just feeding ult to the enemy healers. Speaking of ult charge, he's had a full ult charge for a while. You've had full ult charge for a while, so we should definitely think about using it in this next fight. Okay, so they only have 10% left. That means that they're getting kind of desperate to get on the point here. We have 100 energy, which is good. This would have been a good time to use the ultimate a little bit earlier, right before. So we're going to wind it up basically finishing the map without using our ultimate a single time. What should the shield priorities be? Definitely your highest impact supports, which would be Ana, Mercy, Zenyatta potentially, depending on your support composition. Your important DPS, particularly your vulnerable DPS, like Pharah is a big one. And then after that, the tanks can mostly fend for themselves. But a Reinhardt is a good person to shield, because lots of nasty stuff people try to do to your Reinhardt. So at this point, we have some energy. We're going to die, unfortunately. We're going to live. Okay, so we're living and we have energy. This is important, because remember, you are the main DPS for your team right now. I would probably not encourage this fight. There's something to be said for follow with your teammates. I think that's a very powerful message, is to, if your teammates are doing something you don't agree with, you should still follow them anyway. But you shouldn't encourage your team to fight when it's bad. So in this case, you know, if you're a healer and the fight is 100% lost, done, over with, just stop healing people, right? If you just keep trickling in one at a time, don't encourage your team to keep fighting by keeping everyone alive and staggering them. So in this case, you're kind of staggering your team by keeping your team alive a little bit, kind of making them stagger. So at this point, don't just go into voice and tell people to stop staggering. Actually, just stop saving them. Let them die, let the fight end, and just leave. So we're gonna have to get away again. All right, now stop. Everyone's dead. Everyone's dead. Gotta stop. This is a common theme. Lightning Leo, Lion, whoever you are, Lightning Lion. Common theme, you're overstaying your welcome. I think that's the #1 thing that's hurting your game right now, in this particular map at least. You definitely have to know when the fight is lost. And the fight is lost usually when you're down a couple players. Well, there's no way to tell you when the fight's lost. You just have to know by experience. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. All right, but now we have the full team, and that's good. So nice shield, get the nice battery shield, got you a lot of energy. And here is a good time to Graviton, because the Zenyatta ult's going to expire right now. Good. Very good. And the problem is we just don't have enough damage, you know. I said it before, but we only had you only had 50 energy in that fight, and 50 energy is not enough to do the deeps. So unfortunately, you're going to lose this match because of your team composition. Well, actually, we changed it up a little bit. We got a Zenyatta, so actually, still much better, but still not enough damage. So there, like I said, it is a viable option to stay and farm your ultimate if the fight's lost. But in that case, you should just go in, farm as much ultimate as you can, and die. Don't do the little, like, poke out, do 20 damage, take 200 damage, back up, poke out, do 20 damage, take 200 damage, because 6 people are going to be doing a lot more damage than just you. So if you keep backing up, healing, going back in, you're only going to be doing, like I said, 20, 30, 40, 50 damage. And at Zarya, they're going to be doing like 300 damage to you every single time, every single peak. They're always going to be winning the peak war 1v6. So you're feeding more ult than you're generating. So if you want to go the I'm just going to farm my ult route, then you have to just go in, farm it all, done. And yeah, okay, so very important, when people are taking basketball shots, don't mess them up. All right, so back to our hero. We took the point, looking good, looking fancy. Our Pharah is up there. Our Pharah boosted up there. We should be a little more concerned about our Pharah. Like I said, shield priorities. Pharah is a big one. Pharah is a powerful DPS, but very vulnerable. So you should always be taking a look what's going on with the Pharah. You seem not concerned enough. So, and your shield was down. That would have been a good time to shield the Pharah. Yeah, I think the two themes of this are make sure you have good shield priority and don't ever say you're welcome. Like, that's it. You're done. You're done. Get out. This is it. This is the moment right here when it's time to stop. So here we are in the same map that we lost to before. And let's see, we're probably going to do the exact same thing. Just camp on this ramp here. By the way, something that you should be aware of is that most players always do the same thing. Most players just get into a rhythm, and they kind of always do the same thing every time. So I usually just assume that the same player is going to do the same thing when it comes to, especially King of the Hill maps, unless like you've been rolling them and then they swapped or something. But if someone goes through the right path, like on the right, chances are next time they're going to go through the right again. Don't assume that everyone's playing mind games and always switching it up. So this is really good, by the way. This is a very good position up here. And you can see how you're keeping them back much more easily. This looks much nicer than before, right? Looks much cleaner, all that good stuff. Seems, I don't know why everyone backed up. It seemed a little bit unnecessary. Maybe there's something going on behind that I couldn't see, and because there's no sound on or anything. There should probably be some sound. I don't know why there's no sound. And so you can see that by backing up, you're now put into the issue where you have to fight on the point. You can't back up at all, though I think we're going to win this fight anyway. Maybe. It looks like a one fight. So, yeah. I would not ult this fight. I would definitely wait until the next fight to use your ultimate, unless you get something absolutely godlike. So hopefully you save it. But I think that I think this game's won. I think this match is won. We should definitely use our ult. Definitely should use our ult this fight, because definitely should use our ult this fight. Alright, there it is. Very good. Alright, that's going to be the map. So, 2-2, all tied up. What's going to happen? I don't know whether it's a win or loss. He didn't say in the email. Alright, so let's go in here. Alright, Future Lion, or Lightning Lion, don't spoil us here. This one's going to be a nail biter. So we already used our E shield, our allied projected shield. Oh, so I don't think we could have saved the Lucio, but the shield for Lucio would have been nice. We're only at so yeah, you pretty much only use your shield for batteries, I've noticed. You almost always just shield the tank, and I don't like that use of it. That's like if you want to just pub stomp low elo games kind of tactic by being a mad DPS and machine. But unfortunately, if you want to play properly, you can't be a mad DPS and machine. I'm sorry. Well, you can still get high energy with proper shields. It's also not nearly as effective because remember, they reduced your energy recharge rate, so pure battery shields are worse than they were before the patch. You want your shields to be defensive shields because Blizzard intentionally nerfed. I call them battery shields. Those are shields where you're not really trying to protect someone necessarily, you just want energy. This is probably going to be a good ultimate time right now because so every time you see the D.Va have her defensive matrix go down, it's probably a good time to ult. And the other team is at 48% if you don't ult now. So it's always important when you're managing your ultimate to think about how much time is left. They're at 50%. If you didn't ult that fight, the next chance you'd have to ult is about 70%. And at that point, you can't get another one. So you'd only have one ult for the entire match, assuming that you never recap the point. Ulting there, however, allows you to have enough time to build up an ultimate for the final fight of the match. That's important. So we're at high energy. We're a little bit far back. You didn't shield the Ana. Priorities for the shields. And I'd be okay if you're missing the shields. That's whatever. People miss shields all the time. People just forget about them all the time. But this player, you know, Lightning Lion, you're not concerned at all with the high priority shield targets. That's something you should definitely be concerned with. So they have a couple picks. They should probably be rolling in here anytime to do some nasty, terrible, awful stuff to your team. And indeed they are. And it is indeed terrible. But it's okay. We're at full energy. We're actually doing a ton of damage. That was very nice. You know, really nicely placed lobs there. All right, now we gotta get back. We gotta get back because it's only a D.Va and a Zarya versus the world. This is not helpful. You can let the D.Va stall it out or whatever, but I don't think you're gonna hit the break point because you'd have to hit. Because the other team. You were already high enough percentage that the other team wouldn't be able to, if you recap the point, the other team wouldn't be able to respawn anyway. Like stalling at this point is not very useful because 88% might as well be 99%. If you cap the point and team wipe them at 88%, it's the same as 99% because they're not going to have enough time to come back. So stalling when it's at this type of percentage doesn't actually do anything for you. You want to get back. And so now you see the results. You had the 5v6. That wasn't very good. But we have one more fight. It's all tied up. Whoever wins this fight wins the match. Let's see what's going to happen. The D.Va ultimate just went down. Or, oh no. I always call it the ultimate, but the D.Va defensive matrix went down, and you waited for the cooldown period, and then you flung your ultimate. So, I hate to say it, Lightning Lion, but if you lose this game, it was because of that ult. But, looks like we took the point anyway. So now we want to definitely go into full box out mode. Remember when I was playing Tracer, I played a little bit of Tracer on King of the Hill earlier. Whenever we had the point like this, and they didn't have much time left to cap it, I just went full out, really engaged them very far up to try to keep them back, try to box them out. Whoa, almost died there. I mean, we're playing Tracer now, we're not playing Zarya, so it's not very relevant. So let's just watch the fight unfold. Let's just watch it happen. Doing some Tracer stuff. A little bit hoppy here. A little bit excited, don't you think? And we're gonna go down. Yep, that's it. And Lightning Lion, unfortunately, loses. To summarize, definitely run away from fights much faster when you realize that they're lost, or go all in ham to farm your ultimate and just die. Again, if you realize they're lost. And be a little bit more liberal with your ultimate. You weren't using it quite as much as you should. And especially, very big, is to use your projected shields not as batteries, but as actual defensive things. To watch these VOD reviews live, tune into my Twitch stream on Saturday evenings Eastern Time. To send in your own gameplay, use the email address you see on the screen. As always, leave any questions and comments down below. Like if you liked it, which I hope you did. Stay positive, and have a great day. Peace out, guys.